World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday where we get to do what we do best, which is help you get to that next level. Happy New Year, everyone, my fellow citizens, my fellow American citizens and community and everyone across this wonderful planet that we have, which, again, you can see it as whatever you want to see it, but it's a new year. It is a new time frame for us to do things differently. And I'm hoping that you all decide to do things differently. Yes, it's that important. New year, new understanding. Take a look back at how you entered 2025. What are the things that you may want to change as you are now entering into 2026? And I want to also let you know that we have a Wealth Lab. We have a new added addition to what we already do, and I'm super excited about what the transitions look like this new year. So welcome to the show, everyone. Please don't forget that you can leave a comment in the YouTube area. Please, we want some interaction in 2026. We want to see you participate. We are focusing on alignment, and we are focusing on intention. Those are the two words of 2026 that I want everybody to get comfortable with. Alignment. Are you in alignment with your success? Are you in alignment with your trajectory, with the people that you are around? Are you intentionally moving, maneuvering, walking, positioning yourself for the outcome, whether that be 6 months from now, whether that be 3 months from now, whether that be a year from now? Please also remember, we are on Soul City Network, and Soul City's programs are available nationally on Roku, Fire, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. So you can watch us either participate with us or watch us at a later time, but we really want you to get engaged this year. We want to see full participation. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, along with being the Executive Director of Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs and the creator of Real Ones in the Room on Substack, and now our brand new addition, which is the Wealth Lab. And we are excited. I also do workshops for free at the Yonkers Public Library. So again, thank you for everyone who makes time. And I'm hoping that more of you make time, because as I was saying, and as I'm going to continue to keep saying, when you enter into 2027, there is no reason why you can say, I didn't know. Soul City Network is providing a platform, a space and place for us to all congregate and meet and share that knowledge. If you want to get in touch with me, also send me an email at leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. So again, today's show is going to be a show that hopefully gets you to understand where you are in life. And what we're going to be talking about today is going to be, again, another part of those gems, another part of those, oop, he did it again type of moments where we're doing it over and over and over. We're going to get you to where you need to be. I want to give a huge shout out to the new mayor of New York. Congratulations to Mamdani. I hope I said it right. If I didn't, if you are listening, or if someone in your staff or in that area is listening, please reach out. We see that you are on the move to do some great things. I want to give another huge shout out to the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. And thank you for mandating financial literacy. Thank you to all of those elected officials who said New York State is now, it's time for us to be where some of those other states, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 23 states that already mandate financial literacy as a graduation understanding that you have to meet. So I'm glad that New York is finally catching on. There will be some proposals coming out to you, Kathy. Mamdani, Yonkers, the third largest city in New York State, Mayor Spano. There's going to be some proposals coming out to Board of Educations. We are all about financial literacy. And it's now time that we get our people, our citizens, our communities on board with what they're going to have to do. You have to be in tune with how your money works. And with that being said, we're going to jump right on into the program. Matt, if you could, please be so kind as to put those slides up for me. Thank you very much. And we're going to be talking about being priced out. The real poverty line is not what they're saying. Family of 4, 32, get out of here. There's no way you'll be able to live. You'll be living in a box underneath a bridge somewhere at $32,000, $33,000. The real poverty line is $140,000. Yes, data, facts, evidence, and receipts. Remember that. We come with data, facts, evidence, and receipts. And as always, we're challenging anyone. Let that be Equifax. Let that be Experian. Let that be TransUnion. Let that be Bank of America. Let that be Chase. Let that be Wells Fargo. Let that be any of these financial institutions, you so-called gurus who claim that you're smarter than everyone else. I am offering you an opportunity to sit aside, beside, on a different side of the camera from me, and let's go over that data. Let's go over those facts. Let's go over that evidence. Let's go over those receipts, because I want to make sure that I'm sending everyone who is and can hear my voice, I want to make sure that they get valuable information. But you want to know something? Since I have been doing this program, not one entity has decided to challenge me. So that must mean that I'm doing something right. But now I want everybody else to get on board. If you are African American, you need to get on board. If you are Hispanic, you need to get on board. If you are poor white, Caucasian, you need to be on board. Middle Eastern, Asian, it doesn't matter. You need to be on board. Indigenous, everyone who is in that poor category, that working poor category, that ever eroding middle class category, you need to make sure that the marginalized community category, you need to be locked in and clocked in. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do this. So the real poverty line is 140,000, the priced out America. Real ones in the room, data driven, trusted, focused. And we are making it happen, folks. All right, so we're going to be, again, as I said, we're going to be moving through the slides, and hopefully you can, again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, do not hesitate. Please drop those comments, questions in the chat area, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions as we move through the show. So thank you, and thank you again for making time. So introduction, America isn't becoming expensive. America has become economically inaccessible. Think about that for a second. We keep addressing affordability. Well, there you have it, inaccessible. It's not that you are living beyond your means have never been met. Now, I've been calling the United States of America, but here's a brand new name that I want you to get accustomed to: the divided states of unaffordability and political criminality. That's what the United States is. And I'm not making this up. It's about the data and the facts, folks. We are divided more than we have ever been. Things are so overpriced or out of range. So we are in a unaffordability crisis. And due to all the political shenanigans that we constantly keep seeing, which we have seen a lot in 2025 and clearly before that as well. So political criminality. If the Congress would do its part, if the courts would remove an immunity situation that it gave someone that is clearly unfit to wield. So that's why I gave us that new name. All right. But again, this is the era of being outpriced, unaffordable, and unsustainable. No ifs, no ands, no buts about that. And if you agree with me, give me a shout out. Give me a hey. All right, so if, again, as I always love to put out there, we are doing an amazing job. I am super excited about everything that we got going on. So if the truth makes you uncomfortable, that's a them problem, not a math problem. Tyrone Glover. We're not dealing with inflation. Oh, yeah, I'm going to say it. There's a lot of us out there who are afraid to say it. They keep using those keywords that alarm and get people to thinking, those who are less fortunate to have as much information as I have. So we're not dealing with an inflation. We're dealing with an economic eviction of housing, from stability, from dignity, from the very promise this nation sold our ancestors. And the installment must hit harder than each article before it becomes the crisis has hit harder than every generation before this one. Yes, it's not a crisis any longer. We're in a situation that we can't keep using the same word. Crisis over, crisis, crisis, crisis. This is not vibe. This is not politics. This is not left versus right. This is math versus survival. All right, think about that again. This is math versus survival. And this math is not controversial. It's catastrophic. Yes, I'm hoping it sends chills up and down those spines. I'm hoping that the hair is standing up on the back of the necks. I'm hoping that goosebumps have now started forming, because that's exactly what it is. All right, so we got to make sure lives, a family of 4 earning $80,000 is doing fine in 2024. Come on, think about that for a second. That's what it is. A family of 4 earning $80,000 is doing fine in 2024. The official poverty line for a family of 4 was $31,200. Median household income of $80,000. Government, media, economists, and every bad faith expert keeps saying the same thing over and over and over. The medium class family earnings of $80,000 are fine. No, they are not. Just that easy, just that simple. Just that easy, just that simple. They're not fine. And it's our job to get them back online with being better than. This is moving kind of slow. There we are. All right. All right, so here's the actual cost of participation numbers. The unavailable price of simply being permanent to work, raise children, and exist in the modern U.S. economy. Think about that again. The unavoidable price of simply being permitted, to work, raise a child, and exist in the modern U.S. economy. America's participation ticket. So grab hold to your seats. Look at what you were paying in 2024. All right. Using national averages, childcare, $32,773. Think about that for a second. To raise two. This is a family of 4 that we're talking about. $32,773. That means that second income, that means just second income is going all to childcare. Look at housing, $23,267. Look at food, $14,717. Transportation, $14,828. I don't know how the poor make it. I don't know how the working poor or the marginalized make it. Look at healthcare, $10,567. Okay, look at other essentials, $21,000. Okay, add those numbers up and you come up with a required net income and $18,000. So I'm still trying to figure out where these so-called experts are getting $32,000. Where are you getting that from? Add national average of taxes of $18,500, and you're roughly get a required gross income of $136,500. Come on now. I'm not making this up. I wish I could be making this up. I wish I could. I wish I could just be grabbing stuff from the air to just throw some stuff together and say, ha, here you go, without any facts, without any data, without any evidence. And here, ladies and gentlemen, here are the receipts. Okay, so let's be clear. The poverty level is not 31,000. Just that simple. It is not 31,000. The middle class is not $80,000. The survival line is $140,000. And in most real job markets, it's $160,000. So now I can see why elected officials are focusing on affordability. But they should be focusing on wages and taxing who? Yes, the rich. All right. This is not opinion. This is arithmetic. This is not opinion. This is arithmetic. Need I say more? All right. So the lie of 80,000 stability. Again, official line 2024, 31,200. Medium household income 80,000. Reality, 80,000 families are mathematically underwater. Okay, 80,000, they're mathematically underwater. And we keep trying to say that, oh, people are living beyond their means. Their means have never been sufficiently met. So you can't live beyond something that every single president since Nixon has undermined the middle class. Every single president. And there will be a show that will highlight that as well. Oh, trust me, I tell you, I'm coming with the data, I'm coming with the facts, and I'm coming with the sheer evidence, receipts. There's no more shenanigans, folks. The real cost of participation, childcare, $32,773. Housing, $23,267. Food, $14,717. Transportation, $14,828. Healthcare, $10,567. And other essentials, $21,857. Come on. Wages, folks. Wages. Not living beyond your means. Wages. Required income breakdown. All right. So again, doing it all over. I had to, it's so good. It's so important. I needed to do it twice. Required income. Net income, $118,000. And I keep saying over and over and over, I don't know how the poor make it. I don't know how the marginalized make it. I don't know how the 60, 70, nearly 80% of the population makes it. And every president since Nixon has undermined the middle class. They have set our students up for failure. Real required gross income, $136,500. If you're not doing that, I don't know how you're making it. I do not. I do not. And then the richest nation on the face of the planet, the United States of America, as I rightfully named the divided states of unaffordability and political criminality, has made it nearly impossible for citizens, fellow Americans to live while they get richer and richer and richer and richer. This is about three categories, and I'm going to constantly keep saying it. This is not a racial conversation any longer. This is about the haves, the have-nots, and the have-lots. So let's take a look at the child care, the silent killer. Child care, $32,773. Second earners primarily to pay daycare. So if you are a family of two, the first one is the breadwinner. The second one, that almost that entire income goes to child care. This destroys financial mobility because you can't really do enough with your resources. You're doing the bare minimum with it, which is making sure that those children have sufficient places to go while you are out there doing that job. Let's take a look at the housing cost, our fiction. All right. Economic model, $1,938 a month for housing. Reality, it's $2,715. There's a little bit of a gap there, almost $1,000 extra what the economists are saying and what the reality is. Annual gap, $9,300 post taxes. So required extra salary of $12,000 to $13,000 is needed for you to be able to sustain a decent existing. We're not talking about living above your means. We're talking about the bare minimum. And those who have less than that, I pray for you. I pray for you every single night. And I'm praying for you that you now realize you have to become financially literate, or you're going to get further and further behind. All right, so here we are, rent versus wealth. So we're talking about in 1955, mortgage equaled forced savings. You were able to save something. In 2024, rent equals subscription fees, zero equity, zero mobility. Think about that again. In 2024, your rent that used to help you with savings has only barely gotten you to being able to afford some subscription fees. You don't even have enough resources to put away for a rainy day. Zero equity, zero mobility, because you're making somebody else rich. Okay, look at this. The 1955 comparison. Phones used to cost, the phone that you had in your house, $5 to $80. $5 was in 1955. Today, they're talking about that would be somewhere around $58 today, but actual cost, a cell phone, the device that you use almost on a regular basis, including with the one that you have inside your home, smartphones plus broadband, $200. And I can tell you, I'm paying way more. Shameful what I pay on a regular basis for just to be able to send a few emails, for a few texts, maybe pick up a call here or there. But for the most part, my phone is being used more for business than even talking to someone. And I'm well over that $200. But we're talking about the bare minimum, $200, smartphone plus broadband. Healthcare used to be $10 in 1955. We're talking today anywhere from $115 today versus $1,600 monthly now. $1,600 for just in case something happens. Better to have and not need than need and not have. That's what they always say. But I mean, come on now. And what do we get back from that? Where's the ROI on that return when I don't use it? Oh, we're subsidizing others who don't have. Okay, childcare, zero, which was zero because why? Somebody was home. We didn't need to have both parents out working. Somebody was in that house in 1955. Kids could come home to a parent, but not today. Wages have stayed stagnant. productivity has blown up, but yet the ROI for us who are killing ourselves nearly to make sure that the rich get richer, there it is. Now you're looking at from zero in 1955 to 32,000 plus today. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I wish I could make this stuff up. All right, look at this inflation illusion. Look at the inflation illusion. Only food tracked CPI, consumer price index, children, healthcare, taxes, utility, all inflation 6 times to infinite. Okay, it's not an inflation problem anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is a wage problem. We have watched productivity do 3x, 4x, 5x, sometimes even up to 10x. And we have watched our wages stay stagnant. The federal government literally has told you it's not giving you any more than $7.25 since 2009. And God knows if you go to your employer and you're smart and you're intelligent and you're wise and you're savvy and you're brilliant in what you do for that employer, and you say, hey, you know what? Thinking about moving in from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, thinking about moving from a studio to a 1-bedroom, thinking about adding another 2 or 3 bodies to the family by having a few kids. Hey, need a little bit more extra bread. That's almost like a death sentence for your job. Because employers have also equally told you, we're only giving you the minimum. When you live in states like New York and California, coastal cities, they're coming at you for that rent. They're coming at you to be able to live in the United States of America. As I say, so rightfully, the divided states of unaffordability and political criminality. It's getting harder and harder to live in the United States of America. And for what reason? No one can pinpoint it, but we are definitely doing a damn good job at making sure that you understand what you may have to do moving forward. And I'm telling you now, if you do, you're going to be good. If you start getting in front of your financial literacy understanding, learning how money works, you're going to be better than good. But as I said at the beginning, you can't come in 2027 talking about, I didn't know. We are 6 days into 2026. There's nobody, as we go through the entire year, what Access Wealth Nation is going to be doing, what Eridita Anderson is going to be doing on her financial literacy show, what we're doing here on this financial literacy show, what Soul City Network gives you the access to on their platform. There's no reason why anyone, as we reach the middle of the year, and if they get to the end of the year, you should be going into 2027 saying you didn't know. And let me throw some real understanding out there. I'm predicting by the middle of this year, I'm going to say actually on my birthday, when I turn 60, Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire. Elon Musk, by the middle of the year, is going to be a trillionaire. In the richest nation on the face of the planet, in our most prosperous time of our history, while we have rampant poverty, while we have rampant homelessness, while we have rampant unemployment or underemployment, while we have now healthcare costs that are going to get 5x'd, while wages are still stagnated, while we live in perpetual states of fear of being one situation away from those criteria that I just labeled out. And there's absolutely no reason other than politics and policy. Nothing more. You as these citizens, stop blaming yourself. You as the youth going through the academic process of preparatory stage and higher education and then getting into the workforce, stop blaming yourself. You mom and pop small businesses, stop blaming yourself. And let's come together and send a clear message to those that we have elected. You're either going to serve we the people or we're going to remove you. Just that simple. And Mandani, you have an excellent opportunity to make this happen for New York, and then we can send a clear message throughout the rest of the country. But you're going to have to work with people like me. You're going to have to get off your high horses, all of you elected officials, all of you boards of directors, all of you school boards and entities. You're going to have to step down off those pedestals and start looking at the hat guys. Start looking at the tattoo guys. Start saying, oh my goodness, these people are smart. Yes, we are, because we went to the same schools. We got the same degrees. And some of us took it even further. When COVID hit, we didn't get dumber, we got smarter. Why did we get smarter? Because we were isolated. We were in our own silos. And with the internet at our fingertips, but yet we keep saying, oh, our kids got dumber, or they got less experience, or they got this or that. I don't like using the word dumb, but I said it anyway. But nevertheless, this is where we are. You should not have lessened or reduced your level of understanding and education. You should have increased it. And I love to say I'm an independent studier. But let's keep it moving. I hope these gems are hitting hard. I hope that you are literally thinking about what you have to do moving forward. So why 100,000 is the new poor? Woo, y'all. 100,000 is the new poor. A family at 100,000 can have less disposable income than at 40,000 due to benefit losses and rising mandatory cost. So this is why we have this great divide of when we talk about, oh, those who come from foreign countries, or the poor, or the ever-eroding middle class. Well, they get this, and they get that, and they get this, and they get that. So I can see why the 100,000 heirs are upset at the 40,000 heirs. I can see why the 40,000 heirs would be upset at those who are getting food assistance and housing assistance. I can see that because the system itself that creates this divide always has you pointing at somebody else, thinking they're getting something more than you, when the system, if it just wrote policy to protect all of our citizens, all of America. And this is how we're going to do it right here, by having the conversation on a regular basis. It is not that hard. It is not that challenging. Or I can tell you right now, as I told my students today, you got the 15%ers who know how to invest, who know how to trade, who know how to duplicate resources, who know how to have more than one income stream. That 15% will never have to worry about anything else for the rest of their lives. But the 85%, good luck. And all you have to do is learn a new skill, focus on working with those who want to make sure that you understand what those new skills are going to look like. How do you apply them on a regular basis, making sure that you're taking care of that credit A1, 700, 800, A1. Making sure that you're budgeting, journaling, writing your expenses down so you can go back and you can look at and see, ooh, wait a minute, I got to slow down here. Making sure that you're allocating, if you choose to use credit cards as a budgeting mechanism, make sure that you're allocating those credit cards to specific tasks. There's a lot that we are going to show you this year, and hopefully that you start applying it. But the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to show up for these sessions, because showing up is the first line of defense. I told you this is going to be a hard-hitting year. Hard-hitting. We're going to be hitting so hard with every bit of, as I said, data, facts, evidence, and we're bringing the receipts. All right, so here we are, the 35,000 trap. All right, Medicaid plus SNAP plus subsidies. Still drowning, but with a life vest. That's crazy. That is it. Again, I'm going to constantly keep saying, we are living in times where I never thought in a million years that this is where we would be. I never thought that I would be coming back home after serving my country, after living abroad, coming back home, doing some of the most amazing things, coming back home to find out that, wow, what happened to our country? right? The 45,000 healthcare trap, 10,000 income gain, $10,567 new expenses, effective mobility tax over 100%. So your healthcare cost just keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Why? You mean to tell me they can't figure out policy that helps us? There's nothing that the healthcare system can do to reduce. There's nothing that can be done to keep things in line. But I guarantee you, all of those politicians, for the most part, I'm not going to say everybody, all of those high earners, I bet you they have investments in healthcare. So they're not looking at, let's bring those prices down. As long as that stock price is through the roof, let's keep prices where they are, because people are going to need it. The masses are going to need it. But now we're in a situation where people are going to be deciding, do I get healthcare or do I make sure that I have childcare? Do I get healthcare or do I make sure that I have an appropriate amount of food in the house? Do I get health care or do I shop at a discount store? Nothing wrong with any of those decisions that you make, but it shouldn't be a choice between. All right, the 65,000 child care trap. Income 20,000, child care 28,000. Net result, collapse. Think about that. Income 20,000, child care 28,000. Net result, collapse. It's disappointing, but it's encouraging at the same time. It's disappointing that I have to convey reality to you, but it's encouraging at the same time because all we have to do is get in front of it. That's it. Get in front of it. Demand upon those who we work for to rethink their strategy. Demand upon the governance, not government. And I'm always going to say that. Government was designed to do the right thing. It's governance, those individuals that are in those seats that claim that they're doing as best they possibly can. Sorry, I would have to disagree with that. Now, there are rock stars out there, Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett, Shapiro in Jersey. Oh, there's a host of them, and I can't think of them right now. And I know that after the show is over, I'm going to be like, oh my God, there's so many of them. There's so many. There's so many. There's some Democrats out there. There's more Democrats clearly than Republicans, but there are also some Republicans out there that see what's going on and know that their states are not living accordingly. And all they have to do is decide to come together and unite versus being divided. And should they do that, they're going to have the abilities to make sure that our citizens are moving prosperously into that next year, that next decade, that next generation. We're not asking much. Oh, let me go back to that. Sorry, the illusion of the 100,000K illusion. Six-figure income doesn't equal stability. 100,000 equals expensive property. You can barely afford anything to buy, depending on where you go. Benefits, losses, costs skyrocket. Again, I keep saying it over and over and over. I watch prices go up, never see prices come down. Prices go up, never see them go down. A bag of chips today, the ones that used to cost 99 cents, $2.49. A 2-liter Coca-Cola or Sprite or Fanta, whatever that may look like for you, $4 at the convenience stores. From my understanding, I don't think that brown substance with the carbonated water has changed in its ingredients. So why is it more expensive? It's called gouging, folks. I heard something that was really disturbing between Pepsi and Walmart. I'm not going to throw it out there, but Pepsi, Walmart, if you are doing what we just heard, you might want to rethink your strategy. As I said, I wish I could make this up. None of this is fiction. This is all fact. And as I asked, Walmart, you want to challenge me on it? Pepsi, you want to challenge me on it? Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, Burlington, doesn't matter. Y'all, anybody, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, I mention you guys all the time. The banks, the financial institutions, the employers. I mention you guys all the time because you have the ability to make things better for your workers, for your consumer, but you're choosing not to. The Dow just broke another record yesterday, 49,000. 49,000. Yes, the stock market is doing phenomenal, but 85% of the population does not benefit from the stock market. So it is doing great for the 15 percenters. All right, look at this one. The true poverty line. Real survival threshold, $140,000 to $160,000. $140,000 to $160,000. Anything below that equals financial fragility. Anything below that. So you're talking about the poor. You're talking about the working poor. Oh yeah, there's a different category. You have poor who are sitting home looking for jobs but can't find any. Doing their darndest, their best. They're living off of whatever assistance that can be given, but they would choose to be working. You got the working poor who are working tirelessly. Some of them even living in their cars because the cost of rent is too expensive. The working poor. You have the marginalized communities, which include the poor, the working poor, and the ever-eroding middle class that built this nation. Thank you. That's what the United States of America, that's what the divided states of unaffordability and political criminality is saying to you. Thank you. While they set you up for failure. Academia, love it. I am an educator inside those schools. But yet academia has saddled our kids with 1.7, 0.8, 0.9, depending on which outlet you listen to, $1 trillion in student loan debts. You basically told them a farce, a bunch of hoo-ha. There's going to be jobs. There's going to be opportunities. So you won't give them a place to live by giving them a loan to give them somewhere to live, but you'll saddle them with student loan debts. That's a little bit backwards for me, and it doesn't sit well for me. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm going to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that more of my fellow Americans, I'm hoping that more of ethnic groups, I'm hoping that clergy and parishioners of those churches, I'm hoping that elected officials, I'm hoping that more and more people realize if we come together, I'm hoping that the African American community, along with the Hispanic community, if we think about what our dollars do, together, those two groups, almost $9 trillion per year. If we were to send a clear message and say, we're not partaking, guess what would happen? A lot of things would change. But we have to come together. We have to decide what's more important. And I'm hoping that this does it for you today. All right. COVID exposed the truth. Yes, it did. The government shutdowns exposed the truth. Yes, they did. Savings spiked. Wasn't a stimulus. It was suppression of participation cost. Yes. Childcare, communicating, lunches vanished. There was no reason. We were stuck in the house. So the government had to subsidize a lot of individuals, had to give them resources. But that's what a government does. When it shuts down the ability for us to do what we're supposed to do, yes, that's what government is there to do. It's not there to criticize and make, oh my God, I can't believe, but it's also there to oversee and make sure things are being done in a manner. That's why it's now going back and saying, oh, this company did the wrong thing, and this company did the wrong thing, and this company did the wrong thing. Always after the fact. But who went to jail? Oh, we'll go after that low income individual, talk about, oh, you got an extra $5. Oh, you got to go to court because you got an extra $5. We'll tax a person. Oh, you got an extra $100. So you got to go to court because you got an extra $100. But we won't go after those millionaires and billionaires who collected when they knew good and well that they were not supposed to be collecting. There you have it. Evidence. As I said, facts, data, evidence, receipts. And I know it's hurting some people out there. I know this is really turning some stomachs, and that's what it was intended to do. Look at this one. Economists missed everything. They measured food affordability, not life affordability. They used broken rules to defend a broken system. Broken. It wasn't broken. It was designed to be broken. It was designed to keep that number that I keep throwing out there. Nearly 85% of the population, more or less, exactly on that margin. One episode away. One episode away. We live one episode away from being homeless. We live one episode away from being unemployed. We live one episode away from catastrophe, not crises. We're past crises. I don't even want to hear that any longer from news and social media or influencers. I don't hear that anymore. It's past crises. But there it is. Let's hear that one more time. They measure food affordability, but not life affordability. They use broken rulers to defend a broken system. Write that down. Put that. Take a picture of that. Put that on the wall. Matter of fact, I'm going to print a lot of these out so that I can just deliver them around the neighborhood. Yes. I hope this is rattling some chains. I hope this is making people a bit uncomfortable. I hope this is doing exactly what it is intended to do. Middle class, optical illusion. Okay, 34% earn 150,000 plus, but 150 is the survival line, not upper class. 35% earn 150 plus. But 150K is not survival line. It's survival line and it's not upper class. 45% of Americans are now the new working poor. Look at those two numbers. Puts us right exactly where and what I have been saying. Nearing 85% of the population struggling to barely make ends meet. Not because they're living beyond their means, because their means have now been so far put out of reach, all through policy and politics. So we're about to wrap this up. We got about another 12 minutes. If you have any questions, concerns, comments that you want to throw out there for us, we are open to take on any questions. Thank you so much. As always, I love doing what I do. I mean, you can see the wittiness in my face. You can see the smile on my face. I love this. I appreciate this. I love being able to do what I do on Tuesdays. I love to be able to do what I do every single day of the week. I am engaged. I am creating something that I hope more people will latch onto. Let's make 2026 the year of recovery. And if we have to do it on our own, that's okay, because guess what? We built our own table. We're bringing our own chairs. They don't need to add us to theirs. We'll be right outside. As Jadakiss or Mandani did a kiss shout out. Yes, outside. We outside. And that's where we'll be if they don't want to bring us inside to join their tables. All right. Rage is not racism. It's math. That's pretty simple to understand. Rage is not racism. It's math. Altruism requires surplus. Surplus requires stability. Stability requires crossing 140,000. That's all it is. How is that hard to understand? Productivity through the roof. Wages stagnant. So the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. I wish I could say, I wish I was making this up. And here's some more truth. The breach of contract. Efforts no longer lead to security. Efforts now equal debt, exhaustion, and risk. We can build through truth, skill, literacy, and unity. Let's think about that. The breach of contract. Efforts no longer leads to security. Efforts now equal debt, exhaustion, and risk. But ladies and gentlemen, we can build through truth, skills, literacy, and unity. That's what this is all about. That's what Soul City is all about. That's what Leverage Your Score is all about. That's what Access Wealth Nation is all about. That's what P2P from Ardita Anderson is all about. Join us. Join us. Let's move through the noise, the difficulties, the challenges, unified. Let's create the future, the financial future that we want, that creates stability, independence, and freedom. I tell you, I'm dropping some gems. I told you I was going to be coming hard this year. For those who didn't understand it, I let you know prior to that I was going to be swinging for the fences every single opportunity that I get. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm hoping that there's a couple of questions out there, but not, again, if you choose, we're always here. We're always going to be able to present information to you. Send me an email at leveragecreditrecovery.com. Text me at 805-428-9424. Use our link tree, which is linktree/leverage credit recovery. Use those avenues to get in touch with us. I know you're concerned. I know you're worried. I'm going to be doing another episode tonight for the Wealth Lab. The Wealth Lab consists or is a acronym broken down. The W is for workforce. The E is for entrepreneurship. The A is for assets. The L is for literacy. The T is for taxes. And the H is for housing. The lab. The lab is open, folks. My students have already engaged. I'm looking for the adults to engage. But as I said all the time, adults, you've grown. You don't want people telling you what to do. So we're not going to tell you what to do. We're not. But we're definitely going to keep giving you information. We're not indoctrinating you. We're not preaching to you. We're not lecturing you. But we are, because we have knowledge and we have experience and we have expertise in our skill sets. But we're definitely not going to leave you vulnerable so that you can't say, oh, well, 2027 is coming. Oh, but nobody told me. 2028 is in front of us. Oh, nobody told me. The next generation, the next decade is in front of us. Nobody told me. Yes, we did. We're telling you today, and we're going to tell you every single Tuesday on Soul City Network, on Leverage Your Score. We're going to tell you every single Saturday in free workshops at the library. We're going to tell you on every single one of our Wealth Lab sessions, but you have to decide what's more important. Budgeting, credit, financial stability, access to proper health care, access to a good salary, access to great schools, access to academia that is focusing on preparing you properly. And as I said it before, if they can mandate sexual harassment in the business working culture, then they can equally mandate financial literacy. But as I said, it's going to be up to us moving forward to make sure that our elected officials, because as I said, this is policy and this is politics. This has nothing to do with your efforts, because I know for a fact you're working. You are putting in those hours. You are putting in that time. You come home exhausted, but yet you still can't see where all your money is going. Well, you can see it, but you're not getting an ROI on it, which is a return on that investment. All right, so the conclusion here is Real Ones in the Room. That's my Substack. Real Ones in the Room. That's the Substack. It's the one that I have created. That's the area in which I want everybody. If you are someone who understands Real Ones in the Room, go to Substack and engage with us. You'll love the content. You'll love the articles. They are brilliant. They're coming from a brilliant person. So math is our weapon. Truth is our leverage, right? Write these affirmations down. Math is our weapon. Truth is our leverage. We will build what the system tried to deny us. We will. We, the people, will build what the system tried to deny us. Our dollar is powerful, but we're using it to our own demise. I'm not saying boycott. I'm not saying anything that hurts a business. That's not what I'm saying. But if a business can't get with the business of making sure that I have a stable life and a good understanding, if government can't make sure that that happens, then we're going to have to remove those individuals who refuse to do what we need them to do. We're going to have to stop frequenting those stores that will not make sure that their cost of goods are not being overtaxed, and those prices now, or that taxation is being levied onto us. If prices go up, they can come back down. We need to make sure that there are jobs that are good paying jobs. I hope that this year, as we revisit, or as they hopefully in November, again, don't know what that outcome is going to look like. And this is not a politics show, but I always say politics always creeps its way into the conversation because they're intertwined. Politics is intertwined. The financial situation is intertwined. The academic situation is intertwined. The healthcare is intertwined. The ability to move and maneuver in the understanding that this nation promised us life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness is all intertwined. And we're going to have to do a better job at making sure that those who we have entrusted to do for us are actually doing for us. Because if they're not, I already know that we have to do a better job. And if we do, we are going to be exceptional. We are going to be better than okay. We are going to have the lives that we want to have. And that's all within our reach. But there's nothing that I can tell any of you. You have to want it for yourself. You have to want to be engaged. You have to want to be part of the conversation. And if you do want that, what we are presenting to you, then I'm here to tell you that you're going to have the life that you want. But it's not up to me. It is up to you. I wish I could say it's up to me, but it's not up to me. It is up to you. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for making time. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do what I do best, which is help you understand what you're going to have to do as you move through 2026. This is the year of recovery. This is the year of reclaiming. This is the year of returning back to what we were told and what we were promised. This is the year where we can now do what we need to do because we have 3 more years of somebody in that White House who does not care about the middle class, the ever-eroding middle class, that does not care about the working poor, that does not care about the poor, that does not care about the marginal lives, that has literally shown us all that he's a billionaire, or that administration is focusing on making sure that the billionaires become trillionaires, because billionaires don't want to see millionaires become billionaires. They don't want to see that. Millionaires don't want to see thousandaires become millionaires. Thousandaires don't want to see hundredaires become thousandaires. So we got this constant on-fighting going on between the heirs. And imagine if we decided to come together as the United States of America. Imagine what we could do. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. Please join us in all of our sessions as we present them here on Soul City, as the lab starts making its own footprints. Let's do what we got to do for this year. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, be safe, America.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.